The next presentation coming up, we have the topic of the next decade of banking, which is customer-centric, digital first, and of course, as always, the intention is always to be AI ready. Well, we're going to have a fantastic discussion because we have the two speakers who are going to join us on stage shortly. Meanwhile, may I request all the delegates to kindly take their seats, settle down, please, as we're all set for the next session. I'll also take this opportunity to thank our bronze partners, Payfi, we have Blinks, by JM Financial, we have Jar App, we have Shellcode, and Scroot Automation. Thank you so much. Our bronze partners also continues to be Tata Capital, Vampay, India Bonds, Samsub, and Cello. So thank you once again to all of our partners at GFF 2025 for making this possible. Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, as we will be proceeding with the next session, we do have a few more sessions coming up and our speakers are all set. We do have conversations about reimagining finance as well that's going to happen after this. So I request you to remain in the room, be seated, settle down, and be all set for the discussions taking place right here at the Grand Theatre of NMACC. And with that, let me now invite the speakers, ladies and gentlemen. For this topic, we have with us Mr. V. Vaidyanathan, Managing Director and CEO of IDFC First Bank, in conversation with Ms. Latha Venkatesh, Executive Editor, CNBC TV 18.
I want the other presentation, the main one. Yeah. Good morning, everybody. It's a great pleasure for me to see every one of you today, and thank you for this very excellent attendance in this very large hall. This is the agenda given by the organizers to me. I thought looking ahead, 10 years ahead is a very long look. If you think about it, 2015, none of us could have imagined UPI coming of the scale, $3 trillion a year of transactions happening. Who would have imagined the account aggregator will be such a massive force? Or so many other changes that have come. But nevertheless, we'll take a good look at it because certain things will not going to change. The fact that people need credit will not change. The fact that people need deposits will not change. People need investments will not change. So there are many things that will still be, very important in the future. So we'll take it from there. So I'm going to save some time for the next speaker because I think the team is running behind, but I'm going to keep it very quick. And I'm going to leave more time for Latha to engage into a discussion. So I'm going to try to finish this in just 10 minutes sharp, folks, okay? So just stay tuned. Now, as far as banking system is concerned, we're saying that we expect the GDP to be around $10 trillion and banking credit to be something like about $6.5 trillion. And just for context, I must share with you that India's GDP was 125 lakh crores in 2015. It's now 331 lakh crores, gone up 2.6 times. And again, this only assumes, by the way, this is not an economist work. It is our own spreadsheet pull at rate of just 10%. 10% meaning 9 plus 3 or 6 plus 4, the nominal plus inflation, whichever way you put it, still, will touch something like about $10 trillion. And of that $10 trillion, this has a significant impact on banking, what I'm going to show you here. Of that $9.7 trillion, which we are saying it could be the number here, you see about the household consumption could still be about 60% of GDP, which is the situation even today. But of that, the essential consumption could be 40%, and the discretionary could be 60%. Today, it is 60% essential and 40% discretionary. You could see that today, the discretionary consumption is $900 billion. This could touch $3.5 trillion. And then you could see that there is a massive $2.6 trillion coming up for annual spends at the end of 10 years from now. This has big implications for banking and many other products. As you can see, it has implication on end of the day that money's got to spend somewhere. So it's going into mobility, travel, tourism, financial products, housing, living, healthcare, wellness, education, skilling, eating out, dining, fashion, lifestyle, hobbies. You see that amount of a massive amount of spend is coming up in just 10 years from now. 10 years is in our visible sight. And with every passing year, this $2.6 trillion will keep getting added up to the list. Now, this has implication in terms of what will happen to the system as a whole. Now, let me just tell you about the credit front. On the credit front, India's credit has grown from 65 lakh crores to 182 lakh crores in the last 10 years. And you could see that this was COVID, everything happened during this period. And you just assume this back at 12% CAGR, because if you assume GDP grows 10, again I use the word nominal, okay? So if it grows 10, a little bit of financialization happens, goes 12%, and then you see where that goes. So that goes to something like about 567 lakh crores, and then deposits touches something like about 700 lakh crores. I keep moving ahead to that. Equities market is about 125% of GDP today. If you stay at the same 125% of GDP, you'll be about a $1 trillion market cap in the country at the point of time, probably a bit more. Similar growth in mutual funds, AIF, PMS, EPFO, you see what's happening in the country. So this sets the stage for a very, very big story coming up in the next 10 years in the country. So these numbers are not fanciful, just reasonable assumption of 12%. Now I've written on 6 or 7 things that will shape banking in a very massive way, because we've all seen banking the way it currently is even today. But let's say incrementally. I want to just share with you the personalization. So this quick video will, is the volume coming through, folks? So I'm going to show you a live
how to enable
demo to you.
international transactions on your mobile app.
Yeah. So
Open the
yeah, I'm going to show you a live demo for this. You can come, Kunal, quickly. So I'm going to see, because if you see hyper-personalization, you could actually see that, I'll take this in Latha's discussion, so I'm just skipping ahead in the interest of time. Just to show the, just 1 second. If you see the collections call, for example, traditionally people make calls. You bounce your check, we collect from you. How now, through just a digital method, this call can be done? I'll just show you here, and then I'll show you this example in personalization.
नमस्ते राहुल जी। मैंने हाल ही में देखा कि आप अपने IDFC फर्स्ट बैंक लोन की इस महीने की EMI का भुगतान करने से चूक गए हैं। समय पर EMI का भुगतान नहीं करने के कुछ गंभीर परिणाम हो सकते हैं। इससे आपका सिबिल क्रेडिट स्कोर भी खराब हो जाता है। बस आप अपने IDFC फर्स्ट बैंक लोन EMI का तुरंत भुगतान करें और अपने और
But if you noticed, he said, Rahul ji. It is a very personalized conversation being done to the person. Now look at this one.
Hi Akash. Wondering how to achieve your life goals? No need to stress anymore. This First Money Smart Personal Loan up to 1,43,000 is only for you. It is instant, with zero documentation and zero foreclosure charges. But do you know what's most exciting? You don't need to take the entire loan amount in one go. You can choose to take up to 1,43,000. Entirely in one go or in parts.
So I'm moving ahead in the interest of time. The next is open banking. So I'm going to show you a very quick review of how open banking has changed the customer's personalization. So it's a live demo, so please bear with me, folks. Open the network for me, Kunal, here. Yeah. Is this showing up? Yeah, there it is. So now at IDFC First Bank, every bank can give statements of accounts, which they do, everybody does, as part of this process. But what we're doing is, using open banking, this customer can see the savings accounts relationship maybe across the system. Then they can come back and see what are the stocks held across the system in any broker, can see what are the mutual funds held by this customer elsewhere in the system, can see what is the EPFO balances kept by the customer, can see even fixed deposits held elsewhere in the system, not just IDFC First Bank, and can see real estate, can see liabilities, can see home loans. So in a single screen, what is happening here is that from a personalized point of view, you are seeing the complete relationship of the customer. Otherwise, it's lying, as I showed you earlier in data, it's lying in different databases. Some bank is keeping, you borrowed from somewhere else. It's all over the place. And this has implications, which we will discuss if we have time. The third thing to discuss is, which I want to show to all of you very quickly in the interest of time, is the, you want to open on mine? So, folks, I'm going to really hurrying it, so you hope it's working on this? Yeah. Okay, now in this case, can you people, folks, open this up? Not coming? Yeah, it's there. You want to use on mine? It's come. So now this is IDFC Bank. You might think the IDFC Bank app. It is. But see what are we doing here? We are saying that you can actually go here. You can select the flight from which you're taking from here to, say, Delhi. And supposing you want to fly on, say, 9th of the month, and say, show me the flights that you can search the flights for me. And by the way, this is happening live. I hope it works. If it works, please give me a big round of applause. It's all there, right? So if it works. Yeah, there you found it. So these are all the flights. Yeah, these are all the flights that are going on that particular day. And by the way, we have not yet launched publicly, so today is probably the day we're going to launch it. So now supposing you say, okay, I want to fly by, say, Indigo here. And then you choose whether you want to fly with luggage or not. And then you choose the flight. And then you select saying that, okay, you want to continue. It now takes you to the seating system. There's only one seat left here in B, the first row. You say, okay, I want to book this seat. And then you say, okay, I want to pay 14,000 rupees, or I just want to pay, I can pay the reward points, pay now. So I just gave you one very quick demo in the interest of time about how, Kunal can plug it back for me, thanks. So in the interest of time, about how IDFC is now gone and plugged into the entire airline ecosystem and picking all the information live. I suspect people can book a ticket from here quicker than what they can probably even book, on any of those, sites. As this stuff comes up, then there are many more things to be that will be changing. Kunal, this is not moving ahead. Yeah. So the screen is frozen for some reason, but let me just hand it over to Latha for a quick discussion. Basically, the sum and substance of this is that when we are saying things are moving ahead, yeah, you got it? Yeah. So you can leave it here. So basically, the third thing that's going to come up is the digital ecosystem. Who are you? How do I assess you? How do I know intent? How do you document, etc. This is the other big thing that's coming up. It's come up in the last 10 years like crazy. And this is going to be one very big factor how the new age ecosystem is going to open up in the next few years. Fourth thing is customer experience. All these things about how you find branches, email, call center, all that will pretty much irrelevant. I think you'll go more and more toward the app. We, at least in our bank, we keep it very, very simple. We say zero fee banking, 7% interest above 5 lakhs monthly interest. So we don't complicate it. We remove all these complicated transactions about how to describe things, etc. We keep it simple. Again, part of future banking would definitely imagine will be simple, moving for solution products, low-income customers. We know that this is well-banked, but the bottom pyramid is pretty unbanked. And then green financing is going to be a big piece, and cyber security is going to be a big piece. So there is a Prime Minister's speech coming later in the day, so time is short, and the previous speakers ran over time. So I'm cutting it short of time. Maybe in the next GFF I'll do a better job of I'll have proper quality time and present something to you. Okay, thank you very much. Over to Latha. Yeah.
Well, we have only about 6 minutes, so let's try and make the most of it.
Yeah.
Mr. Vaidyanathan, when you started off, the big problem was to actually get deposits. I remember when you took over IDFC and became IDFC First Bank, how do you take new to credit customers and new to banking depositors? how will you use AI for financial inclusion, which is what most of the startups here want to know. How do you net the new customer?
Okay, see, the thing is that, because time was short, I didn't present it, in detail. The thing is that because we were born more somewhere in 2019, 18, 19, so to say, because our deposit was 10,000 crores. Today, it's, by the way, it's
And your loans were 1 lakh crore.
loans was 1 lakh crore, and our credit deposit ratio was 160%. So, and that including the credit substitute. So obviously, we couldn't lend for a period of 3 years, and we could only take deposits. But the short thing is that we are born to the new digital ecosystem. So we could quickly connect to this ecosystem, because I can tell you, without digital, 10,000 crores of deposits cannot become 2 lakh crores in 6 years. Not possible. Okay? Only digital, we connect the ecosystem. And secondly, we built a tech stack. Very modern, API, microservices, cloud, DevSecOps, FinOps. So that stack built, plus the ecosystem made the difference.
What is the, most of the startup and the digital first guys out here, startups, want to know from you, will digital deliver? You spend a lot on digital. So do you also have to spend on branches? Will digital deliver? What were the forks in the road that you saw? Can you answer it for them? Should they do digital and phygital?
See, it's getting increasingly clear the future is digital. Okay? Physical is only going to take you that much far. At least that is our ideology.
You need the branches?
Minimal. Okay, you think of this more in terms of how much you're going to open the markets. So if you talked of lending for a second, right, in a passing. Now, for example, everybody in the country always gives, home loans and car loans. There's nothing special in it. There's no IP in it. It's a commodity. Anybody can do it. But financing this segment, financing somebody to buy a laptop, financing somebody to buy, cattle, and being able to evaluate that cash flow and do the transaction, being able to finance, say, small entrepreneurs and small businesses, maybe financing sanitation, maybe financing green. These kind of capabilities cannot come in the physical way. I mean, there is some amount of digitalization that has to happen and has to plug into the ecosystem I showed about.
Have you found your algos helping in removing fraud?
In a very
reducing
in a very massive way, because for all our romance and charm of lending for the, I can't even say romance and charm, it's actually a need of financing the informal segment. I use the word romance and charm because people think you get a high rate of interest. But actually, reality is that also subject to a lot of frauds. But how frauds is evaluated is, again, digital. Because, there could be customer fraud. There could be employee fraud. There could be, Can
you give some example? As in, how did you detect that was the data on the tax and something else not gelling?
Yeah, you can always, for example, if someone is, suppose someone is living in right now here in BKC, and probably, the system is showing that the person is buying maybe goods somewhere in maybe 20 kilometers from here. The system will figure it out, from Google Analytics, etc. will figure out distance is so far away, so why is the customer going so far away?
Algos are able to ferret out.
Algos are able to do that description. In fact, we have separate scorecards. So right now we are running close to about, we talked about this, we are running close to about 110 AI/ML scorecards. We are running about 300 additional scorecards, regression scorecards. In addition, about 120 or 110 ML scorecards. So we treat every credit customer not as MSME. It is so blunt an instrument. So we have make one scorecard for, say, salons, one scorecard for chemists, one scorecard for let me say auto mechanics, and then we make different scorecard different part of the country. So the precision which technology can take. The thing about technology, we tend to loosely confuse it with the stack versus analytics. Let me keep them separately, but the ability to go precise is much more there. And with the arrival of Gen AI, this is going to become like dramatically different.
That was going to be my next question, probably the last. How do you see Gen AI changing the game for a bank like yours?
See, the Gen AI will make a very, very big difference, actually. I think to everybody and to us also.
I mean, customer hand-holding, for that matter.
Well, let's take customer hand-holding for that matter. So today, I'll give a very easy example so that you can understand. So today, supposing you got a call at the call center, and someone said, okay, what is the Mayura card fees? So even today, I assume that our call center executive will double-click into credit card, double-click into Mayura, double-click into find the fees, tell the customer fees is this. Okay, it's 5,000 rupees, 6,000, whatever. So this is a very such a so inefficient process because that person also human, that person also accessing system. So definitely, as the discussion is progressing, this AI agent can hear the conversation as much as the agent is hearing, as employee is hearing, and while the conversation is flowing, it can live figure it out and show on the screen that the fees is 5,000, it revised last month from 6,000 to 5,000, avail it now. So this kind of a live assistance, rather than doing the double clicking, is one example.
Okay. Now, the startup guys will also want to know.
So one more thing, just one more thing, a previous example. Now supposing, you were doing documentation. So you got 100 pages of customer bank statement and you want to analyze it. Okay. Now, normally human beings take it, read it, type it, scan it, OCR it, all that stuff. Now, GenAI will do 100 pages in like 10 seconds, probably even quicker, and then give a neat analysis of where it's going. Now we're making, we're trying to make bots because bots are the hard ones to make. It needs, STT, TTS. It needs the, multi-agent platform so that it can talk to the agents or we can code the agents. It needs the ability to let me say, ping into maybe 2 or 3 LLMs. It needs to make sense of it. Then it needs to integrate in the core systems. The whole stack then has to speak to the customer in a truly conversational way with guardrails. But we believe that collection calls, sales calls, service calls, everything you can put nice guardrails. You can tell the person, speak like this, speak softly. Don't, even if the customer irritates you, don't speak back. You can work on all days. If the customer says, call me back after Ganesh Chaturthi, now the system may not know what is Ganesh Chaturthi, right? So then you may have to teach it what is Ganesh Chaturthi so that it can relate. So you've got to do all that work.
AI learns very fast, we can tell you that, and I may have learned Ganesh Chaturthi already. Any folks on the road, any dilemmas you had? For instance, did you take the app from SaaS? Or did you generate your own app?
Well, that's one of the hardest one we took, actually. The bank was making no money in the initial stage at all. In fact, we were making loss. And even on operating profit basis, we were not making. But at that time, we took one very, very super important call. It's a good call in hindsight. Turned out to be like a mind-blowing call. We scrapped the SaaS app we had. We built our own native app. So built our own native app means we decided that one day that we'll build a native app. So we said we'll hire the engineers, we'll hire the software coders, we'll hire the full stack developers, DevSecOps, everybody will build the full team. And then we said we'll build the app. Then you got to assemble them together. Then they got to work together, they got to produce something, then UI, UX, digitization. We went across the full path to make a native. And actually it turned a big one because the service you just saw right now, imagine trying to make this on a SaaS solution. It's impossible. I'll tell them make one account aggregator and develop the solution. That will tell me it's in in the pipeline, come out of 1 year. So these are the benefits of making the native app.
A final question, if I may.
Yeah.
Say, let us not go 10 years down the line. 5 years down the line, how do you see yourself versus all these big SBIs and ICICIs and HDFC banks and Axis banks, the bigger ones? Do you think you'll be able to carve a niche on retail?
See, it's not about retail. I think that, first of all, they're all phenomenal banks, as you know. They're like iconic banks. Without any comparison, I see ourselves as as a phenomenally digital bank. Like, we are thinking in our bank day in and day out, UI, UX, design, tech, stack, hyper-personalization, new technologies, algorithms. We're thinking about 24 hours. So if you're doing one thing all the time, and you do it for, we've already done it for 6 years, we do it for 5 more years, I think we'll make a phenomenal digital bank. And I think the payback on a digital bank, a lot of people have been frustrated with me saying, man, Vaidya, what the heck are you doing? Spending money, karta kya hai, kab paisa banega bank mein, ye wo. I'm telling you, every one of them, you wake up in a few years from now, they will all appreciate the quality of bank we made.
No, I agree with you that being digital first has given you an advantage. Being a digital native. 6 years ago, I would not have believed that
you never believed me.
Bank.
You met me in that merger, after post-merger, you met me, and then you harassed me so much in 30 minutes. You said, Vaidyanathan, how are you going to get deposits? How are you going to deposits? I answered in the most politically correct way, so India's big, this, that, etc. You said, no, after everything, Vaidyanathan, never going to get deposits. But I made it, right? So now I'm telling you, we'll make the most digital bank in India. You watch it.
Okay. Let's see after the next result. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. May I request both of you to
Thank you.
please
That was
come
very
together
quick. Thank you. Great job.
for a photograph, please.
My God.
So, ma'am, may I request you just come together at the center for a photograph? Quick picture, please. And thank you so much. Truly amazing to hear this discussion from both of you. Thank you once again to the dignitaries on the dais for this beautiful discussion and joining us here at GFF 2025.